I am witnessing and I am experiencing the single greatest miracle that can happen in a church, and that's transformation. I'm Jamie Harvey, and I am the senior pastor at Casa View Christian Church in Dallas, Texas. And I'm still a little shocked about that. I've been in professional ministry for over a decade, and I've been connected to the church my entire life. And 2 years ago, I was in this place where I was convinced that the church, particularly declining churches, did not have the capacity nor the ability to change and transform. I was jaded. I was so sick of watching the church love their buildings and their worship styles and what used to be more than bringing the love and the power of God to the community around it. And so I honestly thought that my time in pastoral ministry was over. And then God called me here.
Matt, I need you to tell me that people are going to actually show up.
People are going to show up. Why wouldn't they? They'll show up. They'll show up.
So one of the first questions that I asked the Casa View leadership was, what is your kingdom goal? And what do you really want to do as a church? And I was expecting the typical answer. We want to increase worship attendance. We want to reestablish the giving that was in the 1970s. But instead, they said to me, we just want to become meaningful in the community, and we don't care if we put one more butt in the seat on Sunday morning. Somewhere between the 6 and the 9 month mark, I knew that this church was transforming. 3 to 6 months after starting our time together, we launched 4 new mission initiatives. There was a little bit of angst leading up to that, like, why don't we just start one? And then I just came along and said, why wait? Let's just do it.
This is a real thing. This is happening. Free burgers. Free burgers. I'm so glad that we have at least one extrovert in our congregation.
We started those mission initiatives and started seeing some real success, some real engagement from the community. And in that time, we did a renovation project, and we were transforming not just the mission, but really every nook and cranny of the church. And we began to see and feel and experience this new energy. I call it the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. And the hearts of the people here just received that willingly to ride this wave of God's invitation to us to turn outward and to take the love of God into the community. And now we're living in what I would call the greatest miracle that any church can experience, transformation. We are living in this season of awe where we continually look at each other and go, we cannot believe that God has chosen us to do this, that we get to see the glory and the beauty of God, that we get to see hearts changed, that we get to see our own hearts change, that we get to see a real difference being made in the community. What's next? What's next is the scariest and the most beautiful question. I never thought I would see a church transform, and we have already witnessed that miracle. We are riding that wave. I believe that God has bigger things in store for, not just for Casa View Christian Church, but the mission of Casa View Christian Church than we can even imagine. This capital campaign isn't about just doing some renovation to the building. It's an old building, of course it needs to happen. It is about creating more space for people to belong, more space for people to engage something bigger than themselves, something for people to connect to make meaning in their lives, and to create more space at the table.